Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wisdom Sunday. Yep, it's afternoon. Goodness gracious, it's practically early evening. It's been a busy day. I was up this morning at 7, was at church at 8. We had rehearsal with the praise team. I get the privilege of singing on the praise team. I came home, got myself a quick bite to eat, and then beginning at a little before 2 o'clock, I was online doing a Toastmasters thing, district leadership training, and then it just wrapped up. And there's some more things that I'm going to be working on, so I wanted to squeeze in this live edition of Wisdom Sunday. Who do you say that I am? I'm posing that as a question you should ask yourself. Excuse me. Wait a minute. What somebody says about you isn't necessarily correct. On the other hand, what they say about you may be completely correct, but it really doesn't matter nearly as much as what you think of yourself. Now think about this for just a second. I made a phrase in my Wisdom Sunday last week, and a dear, dear friend of mine, somebody that I have tremendous respect for, and somebody who really has meant a lot to me in helping me become a continually better version of myself, admonished me, even kind of jumped on me. Verbally, she scolded me because when I was given my statement, I said, I'm not all that. I mean, I'm nobody special. Well, wait a minute. Who told you you were nobody special? And she reminded me of something. People do not have the right to tell you who you are or whether you're good enough or not good enough unless you give them that power. But stop and think about it for a second. Who do you say that you are? And do you speak in self-deprecating terms in reference to yourself? Now, I'm not talking about being a braggart. I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm talking about what is your worth? What is your value? How do you perceive that value? Maybe you should go and ask people what they think of you in terms of whether or not you're actually casting forth the best possible vision in life. But at the end of the day, if you do not believe in yourself, if you do not have the confidence to believe that you can do whatever you set your mind to do, if you don't think, for example, of the words of someone like a Napoleon Hill, who said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Well, what you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself, what you see and conceive about yourself is what you will be. And sometimes, if you're thinking negative thoughts, that's not a good thing. You have value. I tell speakers often, you have something worth saying and something worth being heard. Well, you are somebody who is worth paying attention to, worth being heard, has something worth saying, and you have a life that can be worth a tremendous benefit to a lot of people. But first and foremost, before you can be that, you have to be that in your own heart, mind, soul, and body. You must believe in you. If you're surrounded by negative influences, here's one thing I'm going to tell you that I had to learn the hard way. As a matter of fact, I once told my son this statement. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. But when it comes to family, you can pick your battles, or at least you should try. But it doesn't matter whether it's friends, whether it's family, no matter what the influences are. Jim Rohn said, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that doesn't mean the total 5 people, because who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with at work? Or who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with in family? Or who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with in voluntary organizations? Or who are the 5 people you spend the most time with at church or in the community or in a civic organization? No matter what you do, You must surround yourself with the right kind of people that make you a positive version of yourself. And to be a positive version of yourself, you've got to take it one step farther. You got to believe that you're worth being with them and that they're worth being with you. Now, I'm not saying that's arrogance. It's not. What I'm saying is that who you think you are, who you believe you are, has everything to do with who you actually are. And if you don't like what you see in the mirror, and if you don't like the words coming out of your mouth, then don't you think it's about time you changed your environment personally, starting with what's going on between these two ears? Think. Self-analyze yourself. Don't overthink it. But you, and only you, can change how people perceive you by first changing your own personal perception of yourself. Because you see, you are worth something. You are special. Thanks for joining me on Wisdom Sunday. I'll see you again next Sunday for Wisdom Sunday. But until then, have a fantastic week and be blessed. And by the grace of God, I'll look forward to seeing you again.